The Middle East is on fire. What started as a decapitation strike has become a regional war with global consequences. Good evening, this is Colonel Ryan Hayes with your situation briefing for March 15, 2025. Today we're covering the U.S.-Israel conflict with Iran, how it started, where it stands now, and what comes next. This is rapidly evolving, so let's break down what you need to know. On February 28, the United States and Israel launched coordinated strikes across Iran. The target list was extensive: missile infrastructure, military installations, nuclear sites, and leadership. The most significant hit? Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei, who had ruled since 1989, was killed in the initial wave. Israel's military also confirmed elimination of dozens of senior Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps commanders. His son, Mojtaba Khamenei, was appointed his successor on March 8. But here's where it gets interesting. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth stated on March 13 that Mojtaba was wounded and likely disfigured in follow-up strikes. Iran denies this, but Mojtaba hasn't been seen publicly since. The U.S. and Israel have systematically targeted Iran's nuclear program, which Tehran insists is peaceful, and hit key oil infrastructure including Karg Island, Iran's economic lifeline. The cost. According to human rights activists in Iran, over 3,000 people killed as of March 14, 1,122 military personnel, 1,119 civilians, including at least 206 children. The most controversial incident: a girls' school near an IRGC base in southern Iran was hit on February 28. Iran says 168 people died, including 110 children. The U.S. says it's investigating. Israel says it's not aware of operations in that area. BBC Verify analysis shows a U.S. Tomahawk missile hit a military base near that school. Defense Secretary Hegseth is now facing serious questions from Democrats. A new front opened on March 2 when Hezbollah, Iran's Lebanese proxy, fired rockets at Israeli positions, claiming revenge for Khamenei's assassination. Israel's defense minister announced ground troops would advance and seize strategic areas in Lebanon. Since then, regular Israeli strikes on southern Lebanon and Beirut's Dahieh suburb, hitting Hezbollah command centers and weapons storage. Lebanon's health ministry reports 826 killed as of March 14, including 106 children. Over 700,000 displaced, 200,000 of them children. The BBC verified an Israeli strike in U9 that killed 8 family members, including 3 children. So why did the U.S. and Israel attack now? Israel's defense minister called it a preemptive strike to remove threats, but didn't specify what immediate threat triggered this timeline. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the U.S. knew Israel was going to act, so America had to move preemptively before expected Iranian retaliation. But the roots go deeper. Israel and the U.S. have opposed Iran's nuclear program for decades. They previously attacked Iranian sites in June 2024 in a 12-day war. Trump claims Iran is rebuilding its nuclear program and developing missiles that could eventually reach the U.S., though U.S. intelligence hasn't confirmed that. The U.S. also openly discussed attacking Iran in January after security forces killed protesters. Negotiations began, but Trump said he wasn't happy with the talks on February 27. Hours later, strikes began. On March 6, Trump demanded Iran's unconditional surrender. On March 14, he said Tehran wants a deal, but the terms are not good enough. Translation: this isn't ending soon. Trump's statements have been contradictory. On March 9, he told CBS the war is very complete pretty much and very far ahead of schedule. But hours later, he suggested the U.S. would go further. He called it an excursion, but also said his goal is to ensure Iran cannot develop weaponry to target the U.S., Israel, or allies for a very long time. White House press secretary suggested the war could last up to 6 weeks. Netanyahu said it will continue as long as needed. Global impact is already severe. Strait of Hormuz effectively closed major oil gas hubs, suspended production. Oil hit 120 barrel, thousands of flights grounded. One of the worst travel disruptions since COVID. Emirates and Qatar Airways have resumed limited flights. Etihad operating limited services from Abu Dhabi. Bottom line, this is a decapitation strike that became a regional war with global economic consequences. Iran's supreme leader is dead. His replacement may be wounded. Over 3,000 Iranians killed, hundreds of them children. Dozens killed across Israel and Gulf states. Lebanon is now a battlefield. The Strait of Hormuz is a combat zone. Oil prices are spiking. And the U.S. president is giving mixed signals about whether this ends tomorrow or continues indefinitely. Watch Iran's next move carefully. Watch oil markets. And watch Lebanon. Because Hezbollah is dug in and Israel is committed, this is far from over. That's your briefing for March 15th. Tomorrow we'll cover the latest developments and any new escalations. Stay informed, stay vigilant. This is Colonel Hayes.